Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we're continuing to pick through the bones of long dead dreams. Speaking of dreams, if you're here for my deep sleep series and all that stuff, and you're wondering about my opinion on the recent announcement of a new deep sleep game, no. No, absolutely fucking no. After the absolute clusterfuck that was Don't Escape 4, and what it did to the lore of Deep Sleep, I have less than zero interest. Anyway, where were we? Alright, elves. Ugh. Around elves, watch yourselves. Would you stop turning off that flashlight?
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural.
Quite. Although, people often think of like the cave art being the really basic, well, primitive stuff that you often see, but actually, a lot of the cave murals and such some of them had some pretty impressive artworks on them, but never mind.
Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic.
Wax-based magic. That's a new one. One of my sisters would be very interested in that sort of thing. Welkins, huh? So, as in the vault of the skies, the firmament, the heavens, and all of that? Huh. Maybe they're not elves. Maybe they're more like angels.
Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Huh.
Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind?
No, that would be you.
You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin.
Excuse you? There's nothing mere about a man.
One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Aren't they all different? Let's see, examine the welkin. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high
you?
welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
Excuse me? Varahamara? Wow. As if being a Welkin supremacist wasn't already blatant enough that this is a bad guy, they straight up named him Danger Sign. Come on. Have a little subtlety, man. Or is Varhamara the name for the High Welkins in general? It's kind of ambiguous whether that's a specific name of a person or the name of the... whatever.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged.
Not the headless
Imagine
men.
a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
One welkin to rule them all. One welkin to bind them. One welcome to bring them all. And in the firmament bind them. Or something like that. Of course, it's barely a hop, skip, and a jump from only welkin to only high welkin. But never mind that.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little walking creatures.
Quite. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Drugs, that's why. Lots of drugs.
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Yeah, I certainly like building a world, alright? Not for games, though. Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Well, it's real concept art, isn't it? Well, maybe. It could be fake concept art. But then it would be a real forgery. One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Well, that already makes them superior to elves. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkins.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Quite.
And for what? All gone.
Quite so.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones.
The cold coast. Good times.
You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden.
Primitive oil rigs, huh? How primitive? 'Cause I mean, the rigs that we had back in fucking 1860 or whatever were pretty fucking primitive. But I guess if we started drilling for oil back in fucking 1460 or just straight up 860, who knows what they would look like.
Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Huh. That's pretty creative, actually. Though I've always thought, the term heat death gives people the wrong image. It sounds like people are dying from the heat when it's the exact opposite. But I guess it would be silly to call it cold death, especially since cold isn't really a thing. Alright.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
Those certainly are words, I think.
It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting.
Yeah.
It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
Yeah, I mean, the name gives far too much opportunity for mockery. It's like, yeah, it's RUN, because it makes everyone that it's inflicted upon run the other way. What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Just, you could say they went through their own heat death.
Looks like they didn't make it.
No shit. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
I'm trying.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe."
Indeed. Can I just say, I hate the way this fucking flashlight works, because, like, if we're at, like, this level or so, it works like how you'd expect it, but then, and even around here, but if you try to go up, look at this nonsense. You can only go upward if you aim it diagonal. If you aim it up here, it's barely moves. It's aggravating. Really fucking aggravating. But never mind.
The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black."
That's terrible.
Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
What year is it? Does it say? I don't know if it says. I don't know how long ago that is.
Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Sound like it said era, but alright. Yep. We stand amidst broken dreams and broken men, desperate to blame anything but themselves.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to exorcise the curse using technology? Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. I mean, maybe. It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell are they making?
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of attempts like that on regular computers too. I mean, there's plenty of attempts that were economically successful, but I don't think there's ever actually been any even remotely successful attempts when it comes to actually recreating a fraction of, well, suffice to say, I think that every, quote, D&D game, unquote, has as much to do with D&D as craps does. And many of them are, in fact, craps.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Ha! I like the way you think, Kim. How are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio.
That's not a bad idea, actually. They can't fault them for ambition, certainly.
Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Ah, yes, the MC. Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
Ha. Indeed.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Not yet, anyway. Well, again, can't fault them for ambition. And this was a role-playing game.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
You wish, conceptualization. You wish. Don't we all? What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow. Quite so, Henry. Quite so.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
They were insane if they thought they could do this. Just to play the cheap money out of their investors' pockets? I doubt it. The curse got them. I see no other explanation. The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. Do we have any money? Let's give them more money so they can finish it and make it even bigger. I think, considering I was literally begging for cash for several times in this game. Well, maybe if we got Joyce on board. I mean, she's rich. Maybe she would have the money. And yes, Kim, I did notice that pun. Untethered from reality indeed.
it's too late for that, I'm afraid.
A half smile breaks out on his face. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor. Alas.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Oh, level up from that. Appropriate. Well. Some dreams are just not meant to... Well, no. That's the wrong way to look at it. It's not really about whether it was meant to be or not. It's simply... Well, it simply isn't. It was a neat idea, but they went about it in the wrong way. I don't know what the right way would be, but it wouldn't have led to this. So it must have been the wrong way. I mean, unless they're still going and are just in some other place, I suppose. It could be that they're still continuing on and even better than before, and they're just managed to get out of this shithole, but I doubt it. The wind howls in from the coal chute above. Okay, so so that also gives XP. Okay, good to know. What the heck is this? Is this the furnace the chimney that was mentioned? The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Huh.
Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Is it? Doesn't look very face-like or very agony. Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside. I'm pretty sure it's already open, but alright.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
Ironic.
What are you doing?
The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway inside the furnace. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Those voices I heard. Maybe it's the malignant entity? Placent said it lives in a chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
True, but what about the natural kind?
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
It's not about skepticism, it's about not being a gullible fool. That's our job. Smear your hands with coal. Sure, why not?
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad. pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
Sure, why not? Hadramut Karzai, smear your cheeks black with coal.
3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul.
Yes, I'm sure people that see me like this will think he's got a wild soul and not he was playing with charcoal like a child.
What are you doing?
Good fucking question, Kim. I am the reincarnation of an ancient Ilmarian warrior. Ilmaran warrior, rather.
Please wipe your face clean, officer.
No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it.
Don't wipe it.
These 3 stripes give you strength in this dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them.
Yeah. We're exploring this dark place, and I need the protection my war paint affords.
And this protects you.
This is traditional war paint. It will grant me safe passage with the spirits that guard this place.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
He stubbornly looks away from you and the furnace.
Just pointing out, this is not traditional Seminese war paint. No idea where you got it.
Well, it's traditional hairy war paint, alright? Let's see. Okay. Do I have anything? Increases physical instrument. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm wearing my only thing that increases physical instrument. Ha! +1 from the war paint. That would actually give me decent odds. If I didn't have the -2 from getting sober.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Heh, 369. Nice.
Hello?
You hear a woman's voice answer.
you've awakened the entity.
Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the 2nd floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
Alright.
The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Should I kick it with my foot? No. That would be a silly idea. Oh wow, there's a whole area over here. Ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Ooh. I don't know why you went that in such a weird way, but alright. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Well, maybe you should snag them anyways. See if you can refurbish them. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Or at the very least, loot them for parts.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Cache. Look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay. Sure.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim?
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks nice. Maybe I won't even need to find my gun after all.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
Maybe.
He likes this find.
Who wouldn't? pretty neat. Interesting bit of history that we've stumbled upon here. Broken Bell Margrave from ages past. It's a 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. Now that's a sweet-ass gun. I wonder why it's so in such better condition than the others. Who can say? Wow. How far? Ah, here we go. Nice. Money. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice. I got enough. For tonight. A cellar window. People's feet shuffling by on the street. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Ooh. +1 drama. Insane mesh tank top. Okay. Where did you even get that one? No, really, who put it in that drawer? No further comments. Wear it at your own risk. Okay, then. I could... What's my visual calculus at? It's only 4. If it was... If these gave a bonus to, say, conception... to something that was at 5 or 3 or something like that for a useful breakpoint, that it would potentially be worth it to wear these alongside this to offset the drama decrease, but yeah, well, if wishes were fishes, then beggars would ride. I'll keep it in mind. Maybe I should save before doing anything with the breaker box.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness, while the black one seems to be feeding a buzzing little fridge-like thing in the corner.
Don't rip the red one out. You'll awaken the ghosts.
Unplug the giant red
An
cable.
electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
Doesn't it have 2? Whatever. This ice cream maker has been turned off and is slowly melting. The ice cream maker is melting? Okay.
Both cables are somewhere in the dark. A giant electrical mammal stirs to life. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current.
Okay. What's this? Oh. The back entrance, I guess.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Probably not. What is this thing? Looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim. It's a fridge.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
Naturally. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door.
Let's take a look inside.
Yeah.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Let's see.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Heh.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. it looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Much less an operational fridge.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
The lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice.
Quite so.
What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Let's do something about that, shall we? Hang on. First, a handwritten note you found from the giant ice bear fridge. It still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door. Surprised those aren't in my inventory as well. Oh, wrong thing.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Good man.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
I wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Remind me again, what's a filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Maybe? I have absolutely no idea if I listen to disco tapes. I certainly haven't since I woke up yesterday. Who's the illiterate ginger kid? I'm guessing that's Kuno.
Really? You don't have a single guess?
The lieutenant looks at you, the corner of his mouth curved into a smug grin. You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory, even if he doesn't know what to do with it.
Especially
He'd
if he
probably
doesn't
try
know what to do
pawn
with
it for
it.
speed, based on our encounter.
Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be? Probably, well...
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see a melting ice cream maker right next to the breaker box?
Quite.
And you did unplug the black wire from said breaker box.
I plugged it back in.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Let's turn the ice cream crank.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
It says you never became that, but it sounds like he said you'll never, as in you will never. Never mind that.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
Yeah.
If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand.
Shut
Equip
up.
The pry bar.
Shut up! Stop! I don't need 3 people telling me to equip a fucking pry bar. God.
This orange machine.
That wasn't even good advice. This pry bar sucks, apparently. God. Okay. 3 different people telling me to equip the pry bar, and then equipping the pry bar doesn't even fucking work. Okay. Anyways.
2 cables are plugged into the...
Yeah. The giant red one was the one that... Yeah. Red one leads to the ice bear fridge.
An electric sizzle.
Alright. There we go. We've done some good in the world.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
Quite dramatic, but yeah. Come on. Why were you going as slowly as humanly possible? Ah. These must be the shutters that were mentioned. Hang on. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. The floorboards creak. Yeah. Thanks, Perception. I couldn't have realized that on my own. Ooh, another postcard. The sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes. Overhead, the ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist, vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. Okay. This would be the entity then, is it? This tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. I wonder what this person is interested in. Alrighty then. Finally. We come face to face with the malignant entity. Finally, maybe we'll get some answers around here. And by finally, I mean next time. Because this is a perfect cliffhanger to leave you on. Well, that, and also because my computer has already crashed twice recording this episode, and I don't want to give it a chance. And I don't want to give it a chance to crash a third time. So, until then, or until next time, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember... What the fuck are you doing, Kim? What the fuck are you doing, Kim? Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so free. Flying away on a... Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just Kim. What is happening? He's just casually kind of shuffling into the air. Why? Anyway, so I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave an SD comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it myself.